Well, hello, folks. I'm gonna do a little video on YouTube here, and I might get into a story, but I want to know what you think about all these ships are losing power. The one in Baltimore that took that bridge down lost power. Now we had two in New York Harbor that's lost power, and I bet Beasley said there was another one this morning. So sounds like we might have some little sabotage there to me. But a lot of things going on right now I don't like the sound of. But anyhow, had a lot of rain this week. Sure slowed down some things down. I was working on my boat inside, but I had to go to take a couple of tests at the hospital and just have my kidneys checked out, and they doing all right. So anyhow, I thought I'd just get on here and talk. If you like a little get together, hit the like button and subscribe. It don't cost anything to do either one. And I only need 15 more subscribers to where I can go live on YouTube. And I'd like to be able to do that. It's hard to do it and not to be able to go live because you can't really connect with the audience that good. You have to talk to just a camera and nobody be there on the other side of it. Where when you're live, you got somebody sitting on the other side of that screen that you can talk to. And I like that. But I've been off for the last 3 or 4, for the last week, maybe 10 days. I haven't added anything until today. I redone one that I couldn't download because my machine was messing up my big computer. So I had to have my grandson to fix it. But it worked today, and hopefully it'll work for this one when I get it done. And I just thought I'd get on here and just rattle on and talk whatever comes to my mind. I had one friend send me a message the other day off my TikTok, and he heard me mention something about hunting rattlesnakes and asked me how many I've caught in my lifetime. I have no idea. I never did hunt rattlesnakes to kill them. I would hunt rattlesnakes and take them to the snakeatorium. It's not too far from where I live, and sell them to the snakeatorium, get enough to pay for my gas going and getting them and everything. But I never made no money at it. But it's a good way to get a lot more venom and stuff made for people to get bit. But I expect I've caught, over my lifetime, 300 or 400 maybe. Several copperheads. And I never did catch no water moccasins, but could have. A lot of times when I'd be out fishing, there would be a lot of water moccasins, but it's dangerous to catch water moccasins. You got other people in the boat with you. If you're going to get bit, you want to get bit yourself, not get them bit. And never did do that because my dad was deathly afraid of snakes, and I didn't want to be scaring him. But snakes is a beautiful animal. They are marked like nothing else is marked. I mean, they're just beautiful patterns. There ain't nothing prettier than a timber rattler or a diamondback Uh, just Mojave rattlesnake is beautiful. They all are. They got one out there called, oh, it's that rattler. It turns pink and green, whatever the surroundings are. I can't think what you call it right now, but it's a beautiful snake. They had one I watched on the Rattlesnake Solutions about a month ago, and it was kind of a pink coral color, beautiful. Maybe one of the prettiest colors I ever seen a snake. And then they got another one that kind of a shade of green, same snake, but it blends in with surroundings, whatever, so much. And I can't remember what the name of that snake is, but it's a beautiful snake. But anyhow, I don't do that no more. My reflexes ain't as fast, and I had somebody ask me about catching groundhogs and catching deer by hand. It can be done. Most people are afraid to even try it, but you have to refine it down to a pretty good little science. And deer, once you catch a deer, if you don't smell like a carnivore that eats animal that eats meat, he tames down remarkably fast. And Jimmy Houston can attest to that. He's got pets all over his. Well, they're not pets; they're free deer that come all over to his farm down in Oklahoma, and I bet you he's got 30 to 50 in his yard at any given time, and they'll walk right up on the porch. Some of them will, and he can throw stuff out for them to eat, and they'll eat, and they're not a bit afraid because, first of all, Jimmy's a God-fearing person. He's a good person, and they feel no alarm toward him whatsoever. And Chris, his wife, she feeds them deer. She loves them. She got awful bad off a while she had that stroke, but she's doing quite a bit better, sure enough. But I got a lot of people on YouTube. I don't know them personally, but I know them through YouTube and consider them my friends. If I'd seen them, I would treat them like a friend because they're good people. They're very good people. And it's just a good social media that it's a good way to make friends and without invading their privacy. You only get the privacy they let out. And I like it. I like it a lot. But I about got my boat done. I put rod holders on today. I made my own rod holders and put them on today. I got my one anchor to finish up and one light that goes inside. It's a little light that sticks up. I got one of them to put on or get to burning. It goes on, but I think the light is not, the bulb itself is not grounded properly because I've got power going to the terminals, and we'll just have to wait and see what it is. I'll check it out tomorrow if I get a chance. But and my buddy David, he wants me to help him get his boat going. That he gives us two boats that we go fishing in. He's got a tracker, I believe it is, and he hasn't had it started in a while and probably needs the carburetor cleaned on it. I think he's got two sensors that's possibly bad on it. But we'll have to wait and see. He's going to bring it over as soon as this water dries up and he can get it in my backyard. But we'll push it in the garage and put the lights on it. You can't go out, meow meow. Okay. She's about to jump up here if you want to. You don't want to. Or my dog, him and my dog get along fine. But we've had a tremendous amount of rain the last couple of weeks. Had great weather, warm and not all that cold, but for this time of year, a lot of rain. And rivers kind of up, lakes are up a little bit, but we need it or we wouldn't get it. And that's the way that is. But I guess, see, this is April. I guess May and June is about all my grandson and my granddaughter to be here, and they'll head out to where they're going to college. That time's going to come around. I hate to see them go because I love them to death, but they have to go and do their thing and get their education the way they want it. My grandson will be in research of some sort. He deals with DNA and stuff like that. And my granddaughter, she's going to be a pharmacist. And it's going to be sad around here without them. But that's another story later on in years. I don't look to be here too many more years. I'm 80 years old, and even if I live 100, I ain't going to be here but 20 more years, you know what I mean? And I got a thing from AAA, whole life insurance policy. At my age, I can get $20,000 or I can't remember now how much it was a month, but I figured it up and it would only cost me $6,000 for 20 years. $10,000, $3,000. I might be telling you wrong. Anyhow, whatever the amount was, I don't remember, but, and I might be telling you it's totally wrong, but I figured it up, and in 20 years, I wouldn't pay even half of what it pays out for a $20,000 policy. And that's pretty good return on your money. No, I wouldn't be here to spend it, but I could sure give my kids a little extra when I'm gone. You know what I mean? I'm thinking about that because I don't need the extra money. I need to make some to help my grandson out, but I wouldn't be able to get that to help him, and $300 a month ain't going to help him at all because he's got to have thousands each month, and probably 2 or 3 to get through college. I don't know. I haven't seen any hard figures yet. I won't see that for next month. But hopefully we can get these channels going, and if I could get 15 more people to subscribe on YouTube, I could start going live on YouTube according to the regulations that they put out to me, the way I understood them. So, and if I'd got on what was last week and done 3 live things 3 days in a row, I could have got a certain criteria. I could have got on then, from then on done live, but I didn't know it. I don't know what things mean when they tell me stuff like that. But I'm just on here rambling tonight, nothing particular to talk about. I just wanted to get back and let you know I was back in business again and getting these things to work. And as soon as I shut this one down, I'm going in there and put it on my YouTube and get it published for the night. And I guess I ought to tell you a little hunting story. I got so many I have to kind of think of something and get it in my mind, and then all of a sudden I can remember it. But it's kind of hard to sit down here at my age and say, I want to think of a story. You don't do it that way. I can lay in there in bed at night and I can think of a dozen. But by the time I wake up the next morning, I don't remember which ones I was thinking about. But we don't have no Bigfoot sightings here in my little hometown, anywhere around it. There's sightings in Kentucky, but they're not close to us. I think the closest one to us was up close to the Virginia border. I might be wrong. Seems like it's where it was at. But anyhow, we just don't get no reports of it, if we got any. And I've never seen one in Kentucky. I think back over the years that I might have heard one in other states, like Michigan, when I was up there. But I'm not 100% sure it was what it was. It could have been anything, because I didn't hear it crisp enough and clear enough to tell what it was or what it wasn't. But I guess y'all like fishing. Hopefully we're going to be going fishing, not this coming week, but the next week. That'll be our first fishing trip, as far as I know. And we'll get that taken. And I got 3 batteries that I can use, and plus what I get on my phone, if any. But I'll use my big camera to take them with. I got 3 batteries that'll be charged up for it. And I think the little place we're going first is not too far from a house. It probably takes about 40 minutes to get there. But I like to fish Lake Cumberland, Harrington, Cave Run, Green River. I like to fish them all. There's good blue cats in every one of them. Now, Cave Run's got a world of flatheads in it, because the Licking River is full of flatheads. But I don't know. I haven't fished Cave Run enough since it was formed for catfish to really know how the fish bite in Cave Run. Just like any other lake goes, you have to find places where they hold and have a little water movement. And if that water's moving a little bit, or you can drag your boat, you'll catch them. You know, they've got these color graphs, and it's supposed to tell you what color is the best to use. You know, they didn't have them until about probably sometime in the early 70s. But what we used to use, and it's still good, you know, Alka-Seltzer used to come in a glass jar about that long and about that big around. And we would take all the paper off of that jar and wash and get it good and clean. And we'd go to the Walmart, or back then it wasn't no Walmart, but we'd go to whatever Rose's Discount or whatever the kind of department store you had. They all had jewelry sections and had costume jewelry in it. We'd find a glass prism that was cut just like a diamond. And the only colors that would show through that is the 7 basic colors. And, or at least the ones that's the only color I ever seen, because I never seen mixed colors in them. And we take that and put that prism inside that jar, that Alka-Seltzer jar. And then we'd fill that Alka-Seltzer jar up with lake water, whatever lake we was fishing in. And we'd hold it out to the sun and look at it, and it would reflect. Now, the water has its own clarity at different depths. And but the difference in it would be usually when you fish for bass, unless it was real hot summer or real cold winter, you didn't fish at great depths. Anywhere from a foot at the bank down to 10 foot is about all you fished. And so that was easy. The water at that level, from 10 to 1 foot, unless it's muddy, we ain't gonna get it there. But as long as you get clear water, it's gonna basically be the same color all the way down to that 10-foot level. And you hold it up there, and whatever colors that prism refracts back to your eyes, there'll only be one or two of them that'll stand out above the rest of them. And that's what color bait you want to use. And most generally, it will be on a bright sunny day and you got really clear water, it will be anywhere from a light green to a light blue or a pink, or not pink, but a real light red, maybe pink. I guess you call it pink, but more of a pastel. And use those colors that you see, whatever they might be. There'll be sometimes that water will be muddy and it'll reflect black. And when it does that, that's what you use. And that was just as good as any of these colors that you get for the boats and buy and pay $150 for, just as accurate as any of them were. And but just one of the many things that we did that we used back in the old days. And I'm talking back in the 50s and 60s. And it holds true for just about all fish. You get in the ocean, you could do the same thing. Salt water, if the water's clear, you just make your prism bottle, and if you get a big prism about like that, then you used to be able to get them for like, $2. Look like a big diamond or just a round cut prism, and it would put off all the rainbow colors just as easy as the little ones, and you can see them better. But just one of the things that we had back in them days. And everybody talks about dragon weights for their catfish. We had dragon weights all the way back into the 50s. But we used a different thing. We used, we'd take copper, and we get the thinnest copper that we could find in a tube. And we'd smash one end of it to where it was waterproof. And then we'd put glue or whatever we could find to help seal that. And then we would mash the upper end and do the same thing. And you could make that rascal stand up. And it would float enough to where you could make a dragon weight out of it. And it was heavy enough that you could cast it. And in fact, I still got one that I made many years ago down in my garage now. And it's still good today. It's just tarnished up and something pitiful. But it was a hollow copper tube. And I think we've taken, when they come out with some sealants, and I can't remember what the name of them was, we took aluminum tubes and done the same thing with them. And we'd put a little weight in the bottom of them. And Mr. Gasket that you used on car engines back in the 50s and 60s, you could take that and seal the bottom of an aluminum tube or plastic tube as far as that goes. And when it dried, it was watertight. And you could do the same thing at the top, put your eyelet in it and drag them, and it made good dragging weights. Wasn't nothing like that in the stores. And we used floats to carry our bait up in the water back then. It ain't changed nothing, just different tools to work with, and you got better dragging weights and stuff. Today, I don't know if they're better. They're easier to take care of. I guess now I don't have any. I've got all the old kind. I think I've got two of the kind that I made when I got first plastic that I made some out of. But anyhow, I just want to get on here and rant and rave a little bit and shoot the bull. And if y'all just like to do this, I know I can't talk to you personally, but if you like this, give me some like buttons. Come on there and join. We'll get together like this every once in a while and talk about some things. Back when I was a kid, they didn't have television. Well, they had, I think they had some, but you never seen them in stores. They were still trying to perfect them. I think the first one that my father bought was in maybe 56, 57. And then I think along 60 something, we got color, 64, 5 maybe 66. We got color TV, and only NBC had it. But, that ain't been well, it's a long time ago to most people because they're so young. But that was just when I was a kid. And me and my wife, my first wife, we had black and white television all the way up to, when I got back from Vietnam, they had, RCA had a color television that I bought. It was, I believe, a 19-inch or 20-inch screen. I had that thing for years, and it had as good a color. Oh, beautiful. Better than this telephone's got. And I think I paid $149 for it, I think, something like that. I was in Marquette, Michigan when I bought it. Got back from Vietnam, went up there, and we got us a television. And we was sleeping on the floor because we had just got up there and we hadn't had no furniture got to us yet. It was still down here in Kentucky. And so we landed on the floor one night and we got the weather report and said we're going to have snow flurries. We get up next morning, it'd be 5-6 inches of snow flurries on the ground. And this was after the 1st of November. And we go to bed the next night, and they say, well, we're going to have a little lake effect snow tonight. We're going to be a few snow flurries. We get up, it'd be 4 or 5 inches on the ground. I told my wife, I said, boy, I'd hate to see it snow up here and be something more than snow flurries. Well, about a night later, they come on there and they said, we're going to have snow tonight, blizzard conditions, accumulation unknown. We got up the next morning and we opened up, I getting ready to go to work, and I opened up my front door that I normally went out, and it was solid wall snow. And I said, look here, Kitty. I said, you can't get out the door. That meant our car was covered up and everything. And so I got on the telephone, I called Chief out where I worked at on the base. I said, first time I've been here and we've had snow like this, I said, how do we get to work? He said, there'll be a snowmobile. It was haul about 12, 15 people. He said, there'll be a snowmobile come by down at your main corner of your street, and it'll stop for you and take you to work. Well, we had the gear that it didn't bother us about getting out into the snow any. So I started to dig out, and I said, well, let me go upstairs to see how deep the snow is. And I got up there, and it was right below my second story hall window. And I put my snowshoes on, and I stepped out on the snow off my second story's window, and Kitty closed it behind me, and I walked down that snowdrift until I got to where the road was cleared by the snow trucks, plows, and after a little bit, maybe 5 minutes or so, here come a snow buggy that had been up and picked up a lot of other people, and they had room for one more. They stopped and hollered at me, told me to get in. I got in, went to work. Got to work, we spent most of the time cleaning snow off vehicles before we went to work. And I was driving a snow plow on the runway. We had to keep it cleared in case of they had to send B-52 strike somewhere. And they actually went from up there all the way to Vietnam at that time, because the war was still going on when I got home. And we'd have to keep the runways cleaned, and they would actually be, of course, they'd have 10 or 12 of us out there running the snow plows. And then they'd have one blower on each end of the runway and another blower on the other end. And they met in the middle, and they was blowing the right-hand side of the runway, for example, or let's say the west side, would have snow blowed up. And by the time June, or let's see, I guess the last snows were usually 1st of May or 2nd of May, something like that. By the time that got here, there was a 200-foot mountain of snow from one end of the runway to the other on both sides. And that kept building up every year. They would haul it away in trucks, but they never get it all gone until it started snowing the next fall. And we averaged about, I think, 276 inches of normal snow a year, and plus the blizzard snow that we get. The lake effect was about 226 inches, I think, or 76 inches, I mean. But you dealt with it. Didn't think nothing about it. So anyhow, with that, I'm going to wrap this one up. Just something to shoot the bull with and talk to you about today. And just rambling. And we'll get on here maybe tomorrow and tell a story. Or maybe ramble again, I don't know. If I can get enough likes off this, I'll ramble again. And y'all hit them like buttons and hit them subscribe buttons, and we'll have some more of them. But anyhow, God bless you, and He will if you let Him. And try to make somebody smile today, because if you do, you never know, it might just change the world. Bye now.